Here's why you will stay broke forever. Now, that may seem harsh initially, but let's dive straight into it, okay? Let's dive right into this presentation. So, where are you currently? Okay, be honest. Be honest with me right now. Do you like it? Now, when I speak to a lot of people, most people will say no. They don't like where they are right now. And that's fine. That's normal. Everybody is like this, okay? So most people don't like where they are, okay? But what I want you to think, where would you want to be? Picture your wildest dreams, okay? Whether that's you being on the beach sipping Mai Tais, or whether that's you driving around in a Bentley, being a gentleman. What do you want to be? What do you want to be like, okay? What do you want to do? For example, what you can't just say, I want to do nothing, right? Because that's worthless. It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to be good for you at all. But what do you want to do? Do you want to build a business? I'm building an e-commerce business. Do you want to build an e-commerce business as well? Do you want a large property portfolio which houses homeless people? Do you want a property portfolio which brings people out of prison and rehomes them, rehabilitates them? Or do you want to have your own medical practice? Do you want your own football team? What do you want to do? Because if you really, really, really want to start being successful in life and changing things, you need to be specific of where you want to be, okay? So what do you want to do? What is your passion, okay? And where do you want to be? Where do you want to do this as well? Get very, very specific about things. Like for example, I want to build my e-commerce business in Thailand. I've done that. I've come back now to the UK and I'm gonna go back out there again. I'm gonna go around Eastern Europe this summer, no doubt about it. Okay. But where do you want to be? Okay. Whether that be in the UK or whether that be in Australia, where do you want to be? And who with? Do you want to be building this with a couple of your friends? Do you want to build this with your partner? Do you not only that building the business with them, but also who do you want to be with when you are older? When do you want your life partner? Who do you want your life partner to be? What color hair does she have? How tall is she? What's her weight? What's her size? You got to be very, very specific about where you currently are, where you want to be, okay? Because when you define really where you want to be, there will be a few things holding you back, which we're going to get onto in just a moment. And let me ask you a question. What are you willing to do to get there? Okay. You are here now. You're here now in your job, working 9 to 5, slaving away for someone which you hate. You're working 50 hours a week, but you want to be here. You want to be working 30 hours per week. You want to be working on your business, your e-commerce business, on 5 times much as salary, okay, in another country where it's sunny, where it's hot. Very, very specific about things, right? Very, very specific things. But for you to actually get there and get to where you want to be, there is a few things holding you back. And reason one is your money mindset, okay? Your money mindset is most likely terrible. Your view of money is terrible, okay? And I'm going to just explain that a little bit more now. Now, number one, you kind of think money is hard. You think it's hard to make money, okay? Now, anything that you think is hard is going to be hard, okay? Things manifest and things, whatever you think, usually comes into reality. If you ask all the richest people and all the people which have managed to grow businesses fast and make money fast, ask them what they think, how hard it is to make money. They will think it is easy to make money because things that are easy, things that you think that are easy, come naturally easier to you. Yes, it may be hard in the beginning, okay? It may seem daunting, but you need to shift your mindset and think, it's not hard to make money, it's easy to make money, and I am going to make it work. And that's exactly how I got my business to work. I was like, man, this Amazon game is easy. I'm going to boss this stuff. And I did. Well over 2.5 million in sales now. I've done it, okay? And all my future endeavors. For example, I've got a webinar upcoming. Whenever you've seen this video, I may have this webinar every single week. I've got this webinar coming up, this free workshop. I'm very, very certain that that's going to go well as well. Very, very positive about it. Next, you think you've literally put money on a pedestal, right? This is terrible for your money mindset. You think money is everything. You can't be thinking that. You can't be putting it on a pedestal. The more you go and chase money, the more they just go away, and more it just goes away, and the less it comes to you. For example, as well, if you're a guy watching this, this is mainly towards the guys. This, if you go out there, you go chasing women, what are you going to get? Not really a lot of women, to be fair. You want to be thinking, working on yourself, becoming the best version of you, and women will naturally come and naturally be attracted to you. And it's the exact same with money. If you sort your money mindset out, you start thinking that it's easy to make money, you start learning ways, you start improving yourself, money will naturally come to you, okay? It will naturally come to you. And then next, you think rich people are evil and horrible. This is another thing where your money mindset is screwed, okay? Now, the nicest people in the world are rich. Like, that may be controversial, you may not agree with that, but some of the nicest people that I have ever met are those that are rich with tons and tons of money. They're so abundant with their money. They like to treat the people that are there with and make sure that they are looked after. There's no doubt about it. Okay. Now, obviously, everybody can be nice. Okay. Everybody can be nice, but it's more specifically this statement of people thinking rich people are evil and horrible. And have you ever heard of the statement, money is the root of all evil, or something like that? People that think that, they're just broke. Okay. And people that think rich people are evil and horrible, again, are broke. Okay. Broke, broke, broke. Okay. Next, you blow all the money that you have. Okay. So you may indeed have £500 left after your job, after all your expenses and stuff. You may be able to save that £500 per month, but you end up spending it just on anything random. And it's that I think it's Parkinson's law. Whatever you have, you will use, basically. So you have all that food in the fridge, all them Doritos, you will eat them all because it's there. It's there, okay? Whereas if you just separated your money into like different pots, different bank accounts, you'd be less likely to blow all that money. I think it's called Parkinson's law, okay? Now, how can you improve this money mindset? Okay, there's a few books which you can go ahead and read along with watching my YouTube channel, right? So, first one is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Fantastic book. I think this was the first ever book that I read, and it really, really shifted my mindset. Next, Rich Dad Poor Dad. These are all standard books, by the way. Like you'll see a lot of finance guys promoting these, and it's true. You should be reading them. They're fantastic books. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be reading them. And finally, Think and Grow Rich. I actually read this was the first book I ever read. This was definitely the second book that I ever read. I think this may have been my third or fourth Think and Grow Rich. These are fantastic books, and these were pivotal moments in my life and really, really shifted my mindset on money, business, life, and what the potential is of life. Okay. Life can be whatever you want it to be, right? Now, reason two, you don't want it enough. You do not want it hard enough. Okay. You may think you want it, but you really don't, right? You really, really don't. Okay. Now, be honest with me right now. Are you doing everything that you can to get to where you want to be? Are you working every single damn minute of the day, every single 3 minutes, should I say, that you have of the day, building your business, improving yourself, and trying to get to where you want to be? Because 99% of people that I'll ask, most likely they're not, right? Most likely they're not. They can improve in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying you're not trying, okay? I'm not saying you're not trying. You may be trying. However, okay, be honest. Are you doing everything that you can? You may be trying, but are you doing everything? Do you want it? Okay? I was doing 16 hours when I first started, sometimes even bloody longer. It was crazy, but I did enjoy it as well. Okay? I really, really enjoyed the journey when I begun, right? I really, really enjoyed it. Okay? So I was doing 16 hours when I started. I know some of my academy members inside my Amazon FBA Academy or waking up at 4 a.m. and going to sleep at 11 p.m. I know some people doing that. Now, I'm not recommending you to do that, okay? That can be quite unhealthy, but what are you willing to sacrifice? If you're not willing to sacrifice a lot, then you don't want it hard enough. You don't want it enough. Okay, you need to be sacrificing a lot in the beginning periods of building your life, building your business. Sometimes it may be relationships. Okay, sometimes it may be sleep. Like one of my academy members is doing right now. He's sacrificing sleep, and that's for the greater good. Okay, he may only have to do this for a year, right? A year of shitty sleep. I'm no doctor, I'm no sleep therapist or whatever, but a year of sleep for 50 to 60 years of better sleep, how would that sound, right? How would that sound? Now, a lot of people work nights or work 12-hour days and then do things after work, like cooking and things like that. You think they get similar amounts of sleep? Yeah, they probably do. What's this, 5 hours sleep? I'd probably say about 10 to 20% of the population get 4 or 5 hours sleep a day. Okay, so why not join them? Like they're doing it for 40 years. Why don't you do it for 1, maybe even 2 years and build your bloody business, get to where you want to be, and then sleep 8 to 9 hours a day? It's pretty simple. Make those sacrifices right now. If you're not willing to make these sacrifices, then you don't want it hard enough, okay? Now, what else can you do? What can you do to add more hours into the day? Number one, less time on the phone. Okay, well, number one was sleep less. That's not a direct recommendation from me, but it's an example of what somebody else is doing, okay? And I've not asked them to do that, by the way, before you start thinking things. Okay, less time on the phone. Now, even I am guilty from this. I'm pretty sure everybody is guilty of this, right? Everybody spends so much time on the phone. Go ahead, look at your phone right now. Look at your screen time. How long is it every single day? And what can you decrease? What apps are you on the most? How can you decrease it? Okay. You need to, like, the phone is terrible, and I'm even having problems myself with it, right? It's so addictive. All these social media apps, so damn addictive, right? You need to limit your time on the phone, whether you're going to turn your phone off, put it in a different room. Both of them strategies can be phenomenal. I've done that multiple times, and doing it initially can be a bit like, oh, I kind of don't want to. But when you've done that and you've got it in there and you're like 20, 30 minutes into your work, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm getting on with this work. And you feel damn good about it. Next, time scheduling. Can you do any time scheduling? And this is time scheduling here, by the way. So you blocking out your day and being very, very specific about what you're doing. So even if you're working a 9 to 5, you'd put 9 here, then 5 here. You'd block that whole time out and just put work. Okay. And you'd get very specific. Do you go training from 6 till 8 p.m.? You put training in there Monday, on a Wednesday, and a Friday. What do you do in the morning? The morning routine. What does it consist of? Put it there, 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 and there. Very, very specific about what you're doing, so you know exactly. For example, more specifically as well, when you have a day off, this is fantastic for structuring your day. So, for example, you'd put 9 a.m. product research from this is from a business perspective for me. Product morning routine, business check-in, product research, following up with suppliers, meeting with academy members, blah blah blah. You do hour by hour or 2 hours by 2 hours, whatever you're doing. Make sure you block it off, okay? And then next, saying no. Can you say no to more things? A lot of people be asking, oh, can you do this? Are you doing this? Can you do this for me? Or are you free later to go for a drink? Are you free for food later? Say no, okay? Learn to say no. Because if you're saying yes to everything, you're not willing to sacrifice all these good times which you can have now, when you can have 10 times better good times in the future, okay? Reason 3, your environment is terrible, okay? Now, this is something I've learned quite a lot, not recently, but over the past couple of years. Now, what do you do with your friends currently? I'm asking you right now, what do you do with your friends currently? Do you go and play golf with them and discuss business? Or is the only time you see your friends in the local Weatherspoons before you go to the club? When do you see them and what do you do? And next, how do you act? For example, if you're going to the local Weatherspoons, then you go into the club, you're probably acting like a degenerate. Or if you're going to golf and you're discussing business, you're probably talking a lot more sophisticated. You're trying to be a lot more sensible, for example. I mean, how do you act? Okay, together more specifically. What do you speak about? Do you speak about business? So I've actually got a little section here. If you're not talking about money, wealth, health, fitness, business, personal growth, you're in the wrong group, unfortunately. Not necessarily in the wrong group. You're in the wrong group for what you want to achieve. Because the people that aren't talking about this may well be great friends and be there for you, right? They may well be there for you, and you don't want to neglect that completely, right? But if they ain't talking money, health, wealth, business, and things like that, and that's what you want to talk about, and that's the things that you're interested in and the things that you want to succeed at, then unfortunately you're in the wrong group and you're going to have to find another one. So what can you do? It's harsh, but you can leave them. No hard feelings. You don't chat shit about them. You don't, I don't know, you don't do anything bad. You just simply just pull your time away from them or minimize your time away from them, right? Because it's essential. You're gonna need to. And if they're good friends, they will understand, okay? They will understand. And hopefully in the future you can bring them up with you. And it's a whole nother story about bringing them up with you. It can be extremely, extremely hard and draining, okay? Next, how to leave them as well. Leave, move, go to a different town, a different city. If you live in London, come up to Manchester. If you're in Manchester, go down to London or something like that, or a different country. That's what I did. I went to Thailand, met so many cool people over there, was networking every single day, was in a fantastic environment, and I made the most money I've ever made. Sounds good, right? And it sounds cliche, but it's what happened. It's what happened. I had so much damn energy because of the people that I was around, and also the weather was one of the reasons why as well. I think, but move away, move away. If you're in a different city, you're forced to meet new people. Or if you're in a new city, for example, London, that's a fucking big business capital. That is massive business capital. So that can be a place to meet new people in that business space or fitness space, influencer space. So have a look, move countries, move cities, move towns, whatever you want to do. Country would be the biggest and the most ultimate, if you can, of course. Here's me. Yeah, I moved to Thailand when I was just 21 years old, I think I was. Bang, bloody phenomenal time. I'm missing it already. I think I may go back. Okay. Now, number 4, you operate on scarcity and not abundance, okay? Now, what does that mean? Okay, so a lot of you will say, I can't afford it. How often do you say that? How often do you say that? I know I used to say that a hell of a lot of time, and since being back here in the UK, I hear that a lot, okay? I hear it either or I can't afford it. Oh, it's bloody expensive. That is. God, that's so expensive. I can't believe that. I can't believe the price for that is so much. All this sort of stuff is just scarcity, 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 scarcity. You need to be operating on abundance, okay? You can't be saying I can't afford it. You want to be starting to think, how can I afford it? Okay, how can I afford it? Not I can't. How? What can I do to actually afford it? Do I need to invest? Do I need to start my own business? Oh, for me to pay for that car, which is £500 a month, I've got 20 grand in the bank. Can I put a deposit on on a house which is going to pay me £500 per month, which will in turn pay for that car? If that makes sense. That's you thinking logically, how can I afford something? Okay, that's one example. Next, money comes and goes and flows like water. Now, I was told this. So, a little guy called Mo. He's a little Indian guy. He's an entrepreneur. He has his own taxi company. I remember him saying this to me about 2.5, 3 years ago, and he was saying if your business ever fails, and I was like pretty much in denial, and I was a bit naive, and I was like, my business is never gonna fail, and it hasn't, thankfully, fantastic. But he did say this one thing to me, and it did stick. Money comes and goes and flows like water. And it stuck with me through some of the hard times because I've lost money lots of times. And also, I've been in points where I may have had to close the business at certain occasions. So, money comes and goes and flows like water. That really stuck with me. And it really, really does. Okay. If you're operating on a state of abundance and also you sort out reason 1 and you sort out your money mindset, Money will come and go and flow like water, and overall, you will have an abundance of it. Okay. Next is share your money, share your time, and share your business. Okay. Now, I still own 100% of my business, but I am never, ever, ever, like, for example, my coaching business, I'm not opposed to joining forces with someone. I'm not opposed to having investments ever. I'm not opposed to just ultimately joining forces with someone and sharing half of my business. Why? Why? Because I could get to a point of making £10,000 per month by myself and be limited and be capped, possibly. Whereas I could join forces with someone and we could grow the business together to 100 grand a month. Okay, 100 grand a month, and then we'd get 50 grand each. Okay, whereas I was stuck there at the 10. Okay, a lot of people don't realize this and they're like, oh, you need to keep your business. Are you sure you want to go for that investment and things like that? No, stop acting on that scarcity. Like, you need it all for yourself. Sharing more with people tends to get you further, okay? If you look at the biggest companies in the world, like Apple or whatever, how many people are they owned by? Friggin' loads of people, okay? Loads and loads of people. I mean, look at even Elon Musk, right? He's only got to where he's got to with Tesla, and he owns, I don't even know how much he owns, but he doesn't own a lot of the company, okay? But how do you need to own a lot of a company if it's worth $200 billion? No, you don't. And it's the same on a smaller scale. If you can grow a company to about 100 million, but then you only own like 10% of it, that's 10 million pounds. 10 million, okay? So operate on abundance and share and be open to it, only if it, of course, works, okay? Next, don't be so greedy, okay? Greedy will get you nowhere in life, and take risk, okay? Take risk, okay? For example, investing in ads. Are you willing to spend £1,000 on ads, okay, which possibly may return you 2,000 or £3,000 in revenue? Are you willing to do that? Because a lot of people aren't. They'll see it as a cost. They'll see it as a cost to the business, which may not return them. And I got this saying here from Robert Kiyosaki, and it's actually in the book which I just recommended you. I can't afford it, your brain stops working. By saying that, okay? By asking, how can I afford it, put your brain to work. For sure, okay? Now, the final reason, and this is a very, very important one and something you may not have thought of, is that you don't focus on PD, which is personal development, okay? Now, personal development is the key to success, in my opinion. The biggest thing in the way of your goals is yourself, right? The biggest person that's in the way of getting you to from where you want to be is yourself, okay? You can have all the knowledge you want, but it's worth absolutely nothing if you're, for example, if you eh, I'm just going to use my business example. If I know everything, I know everything what to say to suppliers, I know all like the jargon, I know everything about profit and loss, I know everything about business. I'm set up with a fantastic website and email looking so damn professional. I've even got a warehouse, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident, and I'm so filled with anxiety to even pick up the phone or have someone visit me. What's the point in having all that knowledge and all them resources? Because it's going to be useless. You're not going to be able to use it. And next, you end up just operating at a much higher level when you have a fantastic mindset, fantastic body, and you're overall just doing more productive things like meditating, reading in the mornings to getting more information, time blocking. All this stuff is personal development and developing yourself. Going out there, speaking on stage, all of this, you just end up operating at a much higher level. All the elites are doing this, and they go hand in hand. Okay. I mean, that comes this presentation to an end. If you enjoyed this presentation, please do leave a like, comment down below what you want to see, or comment down below what you think. And I would very, very appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. But overall, check out any links that are down below as well if you want to interested in any training or want to learn anything from myself about Amazon FBA. But overall, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you around.